Hi, I'm Austin Carroll, and today I'll be going through modules 1 through 9 of Music 100. So, modules 1 through 9 go over the foundational steps of music. Modules 1 and 2 cover basic concepts that underpin the experience of music listening, whereas modules 3 through 9 cover building blocks of sound using technical concepts. More specifically, Module 1 covers unity and variety and performer's role, where Module 2 covers structure of music and purpose of music, so in different settings. Module 3 covers the types of listeners, both casual and referential, and select music categories, more specifically folk, art, and jazz. Module 4 covers music notation and duration, along with pitch, the fundamentals, and names. Module 5 covers pitch notation, intervals, volume, and instrumental timbre. Module 6 covers vocal and orchestral timbre, strings, and woodwinds. Module 7 covers brass and percussion. Module 8 covers keyboard instruments, more specifically the harpsichord and piano. And Module 9 covers keyboard instruments such as the organ and synthesizer. So today I'll be going over 5 important vocabulary terms that are used throughout these modules that I feel like it is important to explain to you. The first word I want to go over is ensemble, mentioned in Module 1. An ensemble is a group of musicians who play together as a unit. It derives from the French word, the same word, ensemble, which is known as all the parts of a thing considered together. It can theoretically be any size as long as it's at least two or more. And ensemble names are typically named after the amount of performers present. So, two would be a duo, three would be a trio, four would be a quartet, and five would be a quintet, and so on and so forth. Traditional symphony orchestras are the largest music ensemble, usually at least 100 people. The little fun fact is that the largest orchestra ever recorded happened at a music festival in Queensland, Australia, in July 2013 with over 7,000 musicians. An example of a vocal ensemble would be Come Down, O Love Divine by Ralph Vaughan Williams, which is 3 minutes 11 seconds long. An example of an instrumental ensemble would be Oboe Quartet in F major by Wolfgang Mozart. The second vocabulary word I'd like to go over is pitch, which is someone's relative perception of how high or low a sound is. Pitch is more precisely determined by frequency, the number of vibrations or complete sound waves per second. So, for example, back and forth movement of guitar strings after being plucked would be pitch. Because pitch is relative, how high or low it sounds can only be determined or judged through comparison of other sounds. An example of low-pitched sounds are in Pier Suite Number 1 in the Hall of the Mountain King by Edward Grieg, up until the 54-second mark. Examples of high-pitched sounds on the other side are in the same piece, actually, starting at the 1 minute 41 mark up until the 2 minute 30-second mark. Yet another vocabulary word I want to talk about is volume or dynamics, which is known as how loud or how soft a composition is. It is used by composers in order to shape a piece and control its emotional content. Volume can also refer to the process of smooth and gradual change between volume levels. So, for example, a crescendo, which is gradually getting louder, and decrescendo, the opposite, are critical expressive elements for performers and composers. In Or Fortuna by Carmina Burana, it greatly demonstrates the way of altering volume by using different levels of energy to produce sound at unique dynamic levels. Higher energy is used to produce a louder sound from the beginning up until the 21-second mark, whereas lower energy is used to produce a softer sound from the 22-second mark to the 43-second mark. The fourth word I want to go over is a timpani or a kettle drum, which is a type of membrane which produces sound through vibration of a membrane or skin stretched across a water metal frame. It was first invented in the 10th century, so over 1,000 years ago in the Middle East. The unique thing about timpanis, which sets them apart from most other drums, is that it has the ability of producing pitch. So, how it produces that pitch is that a metal ring with screws holds the vibrating membrane in place. The performer can then manipulate the membrane to vary the skin's tension or pitch. Timpanis tend to have a 20 to 32-inch diameter in length, so they're about medium sized. And they're also featured in Orford from the 15-second to the 21-second mark. The final word I want to go over today that I feel like it is important to mention is the synthesizer. A synthesizer is an electronic instrument developed in the 1960s that can produce a large variety of sounds by combining both sound generators and modifiers into a single unit with a coalesced control system. Because it can take on the shape of nearly any instrument imaginable, there's no standard way of playing it. Relatively speaking, the synthesizer is an extremely new instrument, being less than 100 years old. They can also produce a large amount of timbres, which are qualities of sound in layman's terms. For example, in The Land Before Eating and Rainmakers by David Anthony Clark, they have great examples that showcase the range of synthesizers. So, overall, what's the big picture here? So, in these modules, they're about laying down the foundation and building blocks for music. We need them to better understand music as a whole. Knowing the terminology, such as the vocabulary words I presented, especially helps with the comprehension of music. And this better comprehension can lead to more thoroughly enjoy music and appreciate it more. And that is it for my presentation. Thank you for sticking by. Have a good night.